Hi guys, it's Allison, and welcome back to another episode of As Real as It Gets. First of all, I just want to say Happy New Year. It is now 2023, and I feel like we all deserve to kind of pat ourselves on the back for even making it through 2022. It sounds dramatic, but I really do feel like it was just so difficult for no reason. I feel like we're just trying to kind of make everything seem normal again, especially after the whole quarantine phase. So I don't know, it was just like an awkward transition in my opinion, but I mean, we're here and I feel like we've learned a lot of lessons from that year as well. So for the past few days, I've been reflecting and kind of looking back on what has happened. And there's a lot of things to unpack, starting off with the fact that going into the year 2022, I was trying to change everything about myself. Not necessarily everything, but just like big things that I really had no control over. For example, I'm kind of naturally introverted, and I hated that about myself. Like, I hated being seen as a quiet kid. I wanted to kind of come out my shell a little bit more. So I forced myself to interact with others or like go out of my way to start conversations, and the key word is forced. Everything was forced, you know um just painfully awkward. And I definitely forgot about a lot of 2022 as some sort of defense mechanism, just cuz I hate being reminded of the faces that I have tried talking to but I probably never will again, just cuz I did too much, honestly. I was doing too much. And if I could apologize to those people, I honestly would, because I think I traumatized them. Being straight up. Like, it was nothing, like, okay, I'm being dramatic. Like, it was nothing bad. I was just trying to get to know people, but it was, like, you could definitely tell that it was just, like, what is she doing? So, if there's anything that I've learned, it's to kind of go with the flow, and if it's meant to be, it will be. Um, but yeah, on top of that, I've just kind of realized I was perfectly fine the way that I was before. Um, I've I've tried to enjoy certain things that I just simply don't like. For example, parties. Okay, there's nothing wrong with parties. I do love a good like get together, but being around a lot of people is kind of like overstimulating for me. It's too much. Like, I find it overwhelming, and there are just too many faces in one condensed area. It's just I'm claustrophobic pretty much. And the whole idea of getting ready and going out for multiple hours, it's just tiring. I love to do it like here and there, but I can't be one of those people that constantly does it every weekend. Credit to the people that do that, because how the heck is your energy not drained from that? But yeah, I've definitely learned that I'm more of a quality time person. So whether it be romantic or platonic, no matter what, if I'm spending time with somebody, I prefer for it to be meaningful. It doesn't matter if it's like 10 minutes or like 6 hours, as long as like we're having a good time. At the end of the day, like, I'm satisfied, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not high maintenance. I don't need anything else. Aside from that, I've also learned to enjoy my own company. Over the summer, I had a few bumps on the road, specifically in terms of relationships, whether it was friends or family. I I needed to take some time off and spend time alone to kind of realize that there's a difference between sharing happiness versus receiving it. And I was definitely receiving all of it. I mean, I depended on my friends and other people to kind of make me feel the ways that I couldn't. I was in denial, but like, I definitely sort of hated myself. I just every time I was alone, it was just not a good time. Especially like going to bed, I couldn't sleep just because I had a lot of thoughts going on in my mind. But eventually, I got help. Therapy works. For those of you wondering, um, I definitely recommend it. Even if like you have minor problems, I just feel like trauma dumping on other people, it's not fair to them. Why would you kind of put the people that you care about through those kind of situations? I mean, no matter how much they care about you and how much they want to help, it's just they're not going to be as helpful as you want them to be or as they want themselves to be for you, if that makes any sense. But yeah, 2022 was definitely a healing journey for me. I had to go through the lowest of the lows for sure in order to realize that I needed to take some time and kind of figure out what it is that I want. You know, I was definitely such a people pleaser. By the way, I quit tennis. Well, I didn't quit tennis, but I quit the idea of playing for college because I realized that it just like was not for me. You know, the tennis world, it's just very toxic. I love the sport, just like not the people. You know, no offense if you play tennis. Maybe this isn't exactly directed at you, but it's just full of like arrogant, individualistic people. And I'm very much not like that. And I'm, you know, I guess you could say I'm a little more weak-minded, but I'm definitely a team player. I think of it as like, you know, there's no I in team kind of thing. So I don't know why I picked tennis when you're literally the only person playing. But I think I stuck playing with it because it taught me how to stay disciplined. You know, I learned how to not only become fit, but I was healthy. I still am. I don't know why I'm saying I was. But during my intense training, I was at my peak for sure. And also, I had to work harder than a lot of other people did, you know. And I'm actually grateful for the fact that I'm not naturally athletic, because some people were like, oh, a lot of my coaches were like, she's talented and she has talent. Like, no, I don't have talent. I just happened to work harder for it than a lot of other people did. I trained a lot more than other people did in the beginning because I was a late player. And, you know, I hated every single second of it. But when I got better, I learned that I actually loved the sport, you know, and it just made the rewards that much more satisfying. So I'm still playing it, just kind of, it's not my priority anymore. I'm kind of putting me over everything else right now just because I need to. You know, I've been beating myself up, and I really don't mean this in like a self-centered way. I think I already said this before, but I've been hard on myself. Like, that's the only thing I've been doing. And I feel like, yes, I can criticize myself and I can always improve, but there's a fine line between saying I suck every single second of the day versus like, here's something that I could be better at, you know? And the more time that I spent by myself, the more that I realized the things that I did, it was for other people. It was never for me. That's only what I ever wanted to do. Like, I thought that it would make me happy to make others happy, but, you know, you can only go so far when you're putting everyone else before you. So throughout the time that I've spent alone and kind of self-reflecting, I asked myself this question. I was like, if nobody else was involved, if nobody else had a say, what would I want? What is it that I want? And it was so hard to come up with an answer because honestly, I never even thought about that. I was given, you know, the talk, like not the birds and the bees talk, but like the how to have a stable future talk at the age of 5. I had very optimistic goals in my life. I wanted to become a singer, an actress, a dancer. Like, I wanted to be something in the artistic realm. But, you know, I was given is that realistic? Like, you know, do you know how hard it is to kind of be successful? I was like 5, you know, and I was kind of lured into the whole try sports, you know, find something that you like in sports so you can have a scholarship for college. And here I am, and I'm taking a gap year. So no college, guys. How funny that is. I think slowly but surely I realized that most of the decisions that I've made in my life, they were because of my anxiety. Like, it just had this control over me. You know, the gap year, that was because of my anxiety. And my parents thought that that was normal. Like, they actually supported me, which is not what I expected, but I'm also thankful in a sense. But at the same time, I feel like that should have been a sort of given that, like, I wasn't thinking straight, you know? I was a junior. Applications weren't even due anytime soon, and I was already stressed about my future. I was having, like, panic attacks day and night. But now I just get a little extra time to truly think about what it is that I value in my life. I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my podcasts or any of the episodes, but I will be traveling to the West Coast during the fall and working for a national park. It's cool and all, but I'm really doing it just to kind of isolate myself from the people that I care about. You know, they're not the problem. This is not anything like that. I need to figure out who I am outside of the people in my life, you know, had they not influenced it. And then after that, I'll come back, and then spring semester, hopefully I get to be part of this gap semester program where we travel to the European countries and, you know, expose ourselves to different studies or whatever, to kind of give myself an idea of what it is that I might want to pursue in college. Either that, or I was gonna do the community college for 2 years and then transfer to Maryland or another college that I had in mind. Also, the whole thing against community college, I really don't understand it. Like, it's the same education for the first couple of years, just in a different area, and you're not spending as much money. Honestly, I think it's a smart move because, you know, debt and everything, especially if you're heading into prestigious colleges, especially Ivy Leagues. Like, I know a few people who got accepted into their dream college but couldn't go because they just couldn't afford it, you know? The financial aid just wasn't enough. And at the end of the day, I feel like either way, going to college is a good thing. Getting your education is a good thing. In the beginning, if you have to spend it at community college, so be it. I feel like it just, all that matters is you end up in the place that you wanted to, you know, if you get the job that you wanted to. So that's my view on that. But overall, I feel like I've made it pretty clear that going into 2023, I have, you know, my priorities straight in terms of, you know, focusing on me, focusing on the people that I care about, and making the relationships that I have with them even stronger. And, something that I didn't mention, hygiene. That's like something I'm super big on now. Surprise. You know what? I'm not going to talk too much about last year and how disgusting I was, but it was pretty bad. Like, I was crusty, musty, all of it. I struggle with eczema, you know, and eczema doesn't play when it comes to wintertime, especially when it gets cold. I peel. I know, gross. I peel if I don't take care of my skin, if I don't put on moisturizer. I feel like this happens to anybody, though. But I've had enough of it. Like, I'm actually proud of myself, to be honest. I'm proud of, like, how far I've come along and how far I've grown as an individual. And I just look forward to growing even more. Like, I look forward to kind of seeing what 2023 has in store for me, because there are a lot of things that are going to be happening this year. Or not, you know, knock on wood, actually. But, yeah. I think that I'm going to end this episode right here. Thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned. There will definitely be more to come. I missed doing this, honestly. I've only written like 2 articles, but it's been too long since I've spent time talking. I also love talking, so, yeah. You'll definitely be hearing more from me. But anyhow, thank you guys for listening. I'll see you at the next episode.